Hi, welcome to this week's Start to Finish Sunday video. Today we are going to do something that is one of my favorite techniques and I've seen a lot of lately, which is creating your own background pattern using stamps. This is the designer typeset stamp. This is Stampin' Up's first photopolymer stamp set. And we're going to be using this bunting stamp here to create a background pattern. Now I'm going to, rather than having this look like a bunting or a garland like this, I'm gonna kind of try to make it look more like geometric, like a geometric pattern. Triangles are really, really popular right now. So that's kind of the inspiration behind this card. So I'll just peel this off of the backing sheet. And you can see that this stamp is a great size. It can go across the front of a card really, really nicely. My piece of Whisper White here measures 3 3/4 by 5. So it's going to give us a nice border when we mount it, when we layer it onto our A2 size card. And the colors that I'm using are Summer Starfruit, Raspberry Ripple, and Gumball Green. When you have a long stamp like this, you can see that this is very flexible, these photopolymer stamp sets. One tip to make sure that it gets mounted straight when you have a stamp like this, a border stamp or any kind of larger polymer stamp. A great tip is to just take your stamp and literally just drop it. It will tend to land straight when you do it like that. Like you can see that it's not, you know, it doesn't matter if it's not, you know, straight lined up with my grid mat, but if you just drop it, it's not going to be sticking to anything in any sort of weird curvy pattern. And then what you can do is just grab your block and pick it up with your acrylic block, and that should be mounted straight onto your block. And I'm going to use some removable adhesive just to stick this down onto my work surface. Actually, I think I want to use some scratch paper because it's going to go over the edges a little bit. So we'll just stick that down. And I'm going to start with my Summer Starfruit. Ink my stamp up, and then I'm going to try to get this aligned with the top of my card. I want it to go off the edge a little bit. Then I'm just going to take just a plain baby wipe, and I'll keep that on my desk, and I can clean off my stamp in between colors. Okay, and now I'm going to take the Raspberry Ripple. I'm going to flip this the other way around. Actually, no, I don't think I am. I think I'm going to keep it going like this, but I'm going to line it up so that it's offset a little bit. Stamp that down. Beautiful. Okay, now I'll ink up my stamp with the Gumball Green. And now I'm just going to repeat those 3 colors going down to the bottom of my cardstock. So here's my finished stamped piece, and you can see that I didn't get it perfectly straight. They go kind of downwards just a little bit, but I'm okay with that. I think it's still a fun sort of geometric pattern. And so let's go ahead and put the card together. So I'm using the Oh Hello stamp set from the spring catalog, and I'm going to be using this chevron oval and the Oh Hello stamp. And what I did was I took the ovals framelits dies, and this is the chevron oval stamp, and I took the oval die that's just a little bit smaller. Let me zoom in here. See, it's just a little bit smaller than the stamp. And what I'm going to do is place this on my card with just a little bit of the oval hanging off the end. I'll take a sticky note to keep that in place. And now I'm just going to run this through my Big Shot. So now I have this cut out of the front panel of my card. Got a piece of Summer Starfruit that measures the same size as this panel. And I'm just going to line that up and make a couple little light marks with my pencil so that I know where that lines up. Okay. And then I'm going to use this stamp and stamp it tone on tone in Summer Starfruit right over top of that. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm always apologizing when I use Summer Starfruit. I can't get it to photograph correctly, but I promise this really is Summer Starfruit. So there's that oval. So I'm going to adhere my stamped panel to my Summer Starfruit panel. I'm adding a little bit of extra adhesive. I just want to make sure that nothing pops up where it's not supposed to, and put a little bit of extra on those little points as well. Then I'll just adhere this down. Okay, now I'm going to use my Stamp-A-Majig to stamp the sentiment from Oh Hello right in that oval. And I'm using my Stays On ink for this. Okay. And then I've got just a little piece of gumball green cardstock. This is about a ½ inch wide. And I'm using the Friend stamp. This is from the Family Reunion stamp set. And I've got that set up on my Stamp-A-Majig as well. I'll just position that. And use Stays On as well on this stamp. Okay. Now I want to trim the end of this. Just trim that off. Actually. And I'll trim a little banner end on this strip. Okay, and this is going to go right onto my card like that. I'm going to trim it off right about there. So that's going to go on just like that. But first I want to create a little embellishment to cover up the end of that banner. I've got one of the smaller soda pop tops that I've flattened with the Big Shot. a 1/2-inch circle punched out of Summer Starfruit, and then this is one of the In Color Dahlias in the Raspberry Ripple color. And I'm going to use my Tombow Mono multi-glue to layer these things together. You could also use glue dots, but I really like to use the liquid glue when I'm using the soda pop tops because I know that it's going to stay together for me. And also using the liquid glue gives you a little bit of wiggle room to make sure that you get everything centered perfectly. So there's my little embellishment. So my card base is Raspberry Ripple, cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to put this piece straight down onto the card. I'll just center and stick this down. Just like that. And then I'll do my little banner right about there, and that's gonna go off the edge of the card just a little bit. Then I'll place my little embellishment right there, and I'm going to use glue dots for that. Just placing a couple of glue dots around the edge of the back of the soda pop top. And I'll go ahead and stick that down. Okay, and there is my finished card.
Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy stampin'. Bye-bye.